Hey everybody! So I forgot to mention a couple things on my video about pregnancy and delivery with two. So I just wanted to quickly do a little bit of a continuation on it. So first of all, what we did to prepare Zaden to become a big brother. I have to admit that we didn't do a heck of a lot. We could have done well, maybe we could have did a bit more. Like we probably could have bought him a book or something. You know, they have some really cute ones out there. I'm becoming a big brother, I'm becoming a big sister, and all about how grandma and grandpa came and watched me and then, you know, met the baby, and could probably did that. But because of Zaden's age, I think there's only so much they can grasp when they're young, right? Because even for, you know, a mom who's carrying the baby to really get that, you know, it just seems so surreal, doesn't it? That you're, you know, have this baby and it's going to come out and you're having another child. Like that's a little bit hard to grasp and at our age. And so for a little 2-year-old to fully understand the concept, I think is a bit much. So we tried, you know, to do a little bit of stuff. Like we'd, you know, and there'd be a baby on TV or something. We'd be like, oh look, baby, that's what mommy has in her belly. And we talked to him that he's going to be a big brother, and you know, he's going to have this little friend to play with and stuff. So, you know, eventually, as my belly grew and got near the end, and he grew up a little bit more, he would start to point at the belly and say baby and give it kisses and stuff. And I think another thing that really helped was that a friend of ours had their second child 6 months before Venix was born, so he got to see his friend become a big sister and got to see like the little baby, and he really fell in love with her, and he kind of got to see a little bit of what, I don't know, having a sibling would be like. So the concept wasn't completely foreign to him. So yeah, we didn't do too much, but what we did do is we ended up buying him a big brother present, and I made sure that we bought him something that once the baby was born would be able to entertain him for a bit. So we got him this big car track station thing where it's like you know, like the car, you can put the cars up and they go around the track and stuff and go down, and there's like this little elevator, and yeah, we just tried to get something like not a teddy bear or something that he could cuddle, something that he could play with, and while I was nursing and stuff, it could entertain him for a bit and stimulate his little mind a bit. So what I did is I wrapped it up and I marked it. I said, to Zaden, thank you for being my big brother, love, and I left it blank until the baby was born, and then, you know, wrote their name in. And what we did is we actually held on to it for a bit longer than I was planning. I was planning on holding on, like giving it to him the day that the baby came home, but because, sorry, we had Venix so close to Christmas, we had all these presents that, say, friends had given us for Zaden and stuff, and that we just didn't have time to open because of all the family stuff we're doing for Christmas and then going into labor. So what I did was I gave Zaden one gift every couple of days, something new to play with and be really exciting and entertaining for him. And then once those ran out, then I gave him his big brother gift. And I think it was still worked just fine because, you know, the baby had been around for a bit, and, you know, things had started to quiet down a little bit, and you know, visitors stopped coming and stuff like that. So I think it was actually, in hindsight, you know, it worked out really well when I gave it to him. If your kid is older, one thing I heard some people do is they buy gifts from the dollar store and they wrap them up so that when your friends and family come to visit and see the baby and bring the baby gifts, that they have something to open as well. I think that's a really, really great idea. And, you know, most people are pretty good about still acknowledging your older one and spending some quality time when they come to visit, but it just must be really crazy for them, you know, being the only one to everyone coming over and seeing the baby and complimenting the baby and giving them gifts and stuff. So I think that's a really great idea to do too. The last thing that at least I can remember that I wanted to talk about was some feelings that I had that shocked me, especially near the end of my pregnancy. I started to feel really scared that I wouldn't love the new baby as much as I love Zaden, because I loved him with my whole heart, and like just an overflowing amount of love for him, and I was so scared that I wouldn't love the baby that much. And I also would start to kind of feel sad for Zaden a bit because I knew his whole world was about to turn upside down, and like we had this little thing where we'd spend some quality time with each other on Sundays, because my husband, we drop him off at work, and then because he works at a church, and then we'd go out for breakfast together and then come back to go to church. So when it came to close to the time that I'd be delivering, I'd be like, oh, only like 8 more of these, 7, 6, you know, and my heart would start to break, because I was like, oh, I love you so much, and I love this quality time with you, and I hope, you know, things are going to be okay. And then when I went into labor, I put Zaden down for a nap, and I used to hold him up here, and I'd sing to him some songs, and I remember just being so sad for him, because I knew that his whole world was going to turn upside down. Like, he had no idea what was about to happen. And again, I was just so scared that I wouldn't love the baby as much as I love him. And I'm just sharing that with you because I found out after the fact that my friends who have had second-borns had the same feelings and the same scares. And my friends that are currently pregnant with their seconds are currently going through it. So I think it's actually quite normal. And that's why I want to tell you. Because if you're having this, don't worry. When your baby comes out and you meet them, you are going to fall so in love with them. And it's going to be the same amount of love that you have for your firstborn. And it seems so unreal, because how can you love, you know, that much more? But it happens. And I think that until you meet them, like just like our firstborns, right? Like, we didn't love them to the degree that we love them now until we met them, right? Like, you can love them so much in your womb, but once you meet them, you have that overwhelming, overflowing amount of love for them, right? And that's the same thing with your second. In all healthy, normal situations, it's the same thing that happens. So I wish I knew that it was normal, because I kind of started feeling like a really bad mom. I don't think you know how much love your heart can hold until you become a parent. And I think must happen over and over and over with every single child. So don't worry, you're not wrecking your firstborn's life. You know, I see Zaden and Phoenix playing together now, and it just warms my heart. Zaden's life did change, but for the better. I never thought I'd have those scares and worries and concerns when I wanted to have a second, and yeah, maybe it's part of the hormones too, but they creeped up on me near the end, and it's nothing that you expect to happen, but it does for evidently a lot of women. And don't worry, it's okay. You're gonna love your kids so much. Alright, so my next video I'll talk about what it's like to have a newborn and a toddler at the same time. Okay, bye-bye. Can you give Phoenix a hug? He thinks you're tickling him. Careful, don't push, Kay. Whoa! Whoa, and there goes Zaden! Whee! That's awesome. Can you say hi?
Hi, people.
Oh, you're gonna get out now, Zaden?
Can I help?
Okay, I'll help. Okay, one sec. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say love you. Can you say I
I
love
you.
you? Yeah.